An interview with Betty Lucille Gardner Seamans. An interview with Betty Lucille Gardner Seamans, daughter of Henry L. Gardner, a student at the school, now living in Houston, Texas, revealed that there are those who have vivid recall of the school and of the experiences of that day. Lucille's home place was the next house up the road. She remembers many of the families who were attending. They were Boykin, Baker, Mann, Slaughter, Jones, Lewis, Rice, Hoyt, Culp, Harvilles, and Gardners. The record shows that some years as many as 39 students were enrolled. Rice Branson recalls the school as a large room with split log benches and tables. There was a stage at the front of the room. All recitations and reading were done on this stage before the entire school. Friday afternoons were reserved for spelling bees. Marie recalls the children playing on Indian mounds out back of the school. This was thrilling because the folklore taught that these small round hills were Indian graves. Irene Rice attended the school and later served as secretary to A. J. Little, Ashley County Superintendent of Schools during the mid-1920s. It is quiet there today. You do not hear the voices of children at play or their joyful sounds as they leave the building for the day. All that remains are the handed-down stories of the acts of kindness of the teachers or of acts of kindness of children to each other, memories of playing ball or other games of skill, or maybe a confrontation here and there. Another part of the Gardner School history is the well that was used to provide water for the school. It was a masonry curb-type well with an 8-inch diameter curb. It was located some 265 yards east of the school. When we moved there, it was one of my chores to carry buckets of water from the well to our home for the family's drinking water. I recently made a nostalgic walk to find that old well in a dense pine forest. The scene was picturesque. Pine straw covered the ground, and yellow jasmine blossoms had fallen from the vines high up in the trees to display their bright yellow color in the brown straw. Deer, turkey, fox, and rabbits dashed out here and there. It was like a walk into a time out of the past. I have always felt that I was a part of the history that knew the one-room schools. The year I was in the first grade, I also attended such a school on the banks of the Mississippi River at Seiple, Arkansas. For members of my family were attending that school, Conlin, Arthur, Faye, and myself. Sharing the learning experience there with them and others provided a camaraderie that I have not known before or since. By the 1920s, over 55 white schools and 19 black schools were operating in Ashley County. A county school board headed by D. Watson appeared to have done excellent work in keeping things in some kind of order. A map was made in 1922 pinpointing the exact location of all of the schools. On June 9, 1928, one of the board members suggested there might be some interest in the future in what was happening in the schools, and the county superintendent was directed to look into the cost of a rat-proof storage for the records. As roads and transportation improved, the schools began to consolidate in order to improve and expand educational opportunities. While the quality of education is often a part of old-time memories, the fact is that, according to some statistics in the county records, over 26% of the students did not make passing grades. A comparison of the larger schools showed that 14% were not passing. There was also a difference in the number of days each school would be in session. It was May 14, 1929, that a petition was presented to the Ashley County School Board by the Gardner School District and the Fountain Hill School District to consolidate the two districts. This was approved, and the Gardner school children began attending Fountain Hill School. It is interesting to note that on September 25, 1929, a group petitioned to have the school returned to its original territory. There was a lot of opposition to this, and the district remained a part of the Fountain Hill District. The history of the Gardner School was officially ended in 1935 when J. L. Wood, T. J. Evans, J. B. Ross, W. B. McPherson, and Jesse Deal, directors of the Fountain Hill School District, executed a deed transferring ownership of the 2 square acres to Jack Seaman, husband of Lucille Gardner. Helen Gardner Deckelman later bought this land, and this was where my family was introduced to Ashley County. There is not a bronze marker placed there to show that this school once was there in all of its simplicity, providing an opportunity for hundreds of children to learn some fundamentals that would see them through their lifetime. Many of my relatives and their longtime family friends spent a part of their lives in this school. I gratefully share in this heritage as I go to visit that old place with its one aged oak tree standing there on the side of a lonely dirt road that was once a main highway but now only a trail on a woodsman's map. The memories do linger still. In order to establish as much of a record as possible, I have attached copies of some of the deeds and a map that relate to the school site. Other information was obtained from records on file in the Ashley County Board of Education. Anyone reading this history that has additional information, please let me know and I will include the data in a revision. Leroy Deckelman, Crossett, Arkansas, 71635, Acknowledgement. We attained this information via Tim Hollis, who handed us a pamphlet called Fountain Hill, a scrapbook compiled by Frank E. Denson. This is voluminously interesting, and we will be writing several essays based on this information. We will be sharing this information with you over the next several days.